Sorry, I'm just catching up here.
No, you're all good. So we're recording now. Keep your profanities at a minimum.
Right back.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull up my quiz.
Okay.
All right.
Erica, we missed you the last couple weeks. We thought you dropped the class.
Well,
Her kids are still awake, so she's muted.
Yeah, my boys have fevers right now, so I'm trying to cool them down. So they're like extra fussy. No, baby. This one's like trying to breastfeed right now. I'm not doing that. but my grandma died last week, so I took. The teachers let me have a week break to.
What's his name, Erica? Nico. Hi, Nico. Hi. How are you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be.
Do you see the strange people on the screen?
No, he's doing great. Man! It's a man!
It's a man.
So I will be muted unless I have something to say. I'll unmute, but my brother-in-law.
Good deal.
Or my husband.
Okay.
Okay.
Be a good boy. Be a good boy for your mommy, okay? Right.
So, for one, I got D.
I got B.
I also got B.
Oh, it's not correct.
Which of the following?
I got B as well. Sorry, I missed that knot.
Let's see here.
Okay. If the real interest rate is 6%, then nominal interest rate is 8%.
4%.
Let's see. Real interest rate is 6%, and the price level is falling. Oh, okay, yeah, falling. So it'd be 4%, right?
Yeah, I think so. I had written down 6 equals x plus 2, so it would be 4.
Good deal. Okay. What do you guys get for 3?
3.
I got A.
A.
Fell
because the Fed got inflation under control.
That one took me a while to find.
Yeah, where did you find it?
358.
358.
Isn't it one of those that was in like an image or something?
No, I don't think so.
So I'd think that it would have been earlier in the chapter because they're usually kind of.
Oh, it says similarly, the nominal interest rate fell from the early 1980s to the 1990s because of the Fed under control. The first paragraph.
All right. 4, the evidence from hyperinflation indicates money growth and inflation. I have A, are positively related, which is consistent with the quantity theory of money.
Yeah, that sounds right. And then 5, let's see, CPI rises the number of dollars needed to buy representative basket of goods increases, so the value of money falls.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yep. Me too.
Cool. Let's see, on the graph, MS represents multiple sclerosis. Just kidding. MS represents the money supply, and MD represents money demand. The usual quantities are measured along the axes. Which of the following events could explain a shift in the money supply curve from MS1 to MS2? And it looks like an increase in money supply. So that would be
D, selling bonds.
selling bonds, because selling bonds supply. Selling, because they're selling. No, because selling bonds would decrease the money supply. It'd be the purchase of bonds.
Yeah, I put C in open market purchase of bonds.
So if you're so if the government is purchasing bonds, then people are going to take their money and buy those bonds with it, which is taking money out of the market, right?
No, people, if the government's purchasing bonds, then it's printing money so that it can buy bonds from people. So it's trading, they're trading their bonds for cash, which is increasing the money supply.
Okay, so it's D.
C. Because if they're selling bonds, that's decreasing the money supply because they're trading bonds and then they're taking cash out of the market and putting bonds into the market. Whereas if they're purchasing bonds, they're taking bonds out of the market and putting money into the market, which is increasing the money supply.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've had a hard time wrapping my head around that one. So that one's C then.
So yeah, I believe that one's C, and then that would make 7. So open market purchases by the Feds makes the money supply increase, which makes the value of money decrease. Open market purchases of bonds, because the government's giving people money for bonds. They print money to people, and they take the bonds, which increases the money supply, which decreases the value of money. So that's B.
That's what I had. I don't know how I get it in one question and not another. All right. Velocity, I had 6.75.
Yep, that's what I had.
I will take your word for it.
It's 2.25 times 6,000 divided by 2,000.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the. Like I said, I'm behind an hour here, so. But yeah, no, you both got that. So price level.
The price level is. I wrote this one. I actually didn't find. I wrote relative variable. I know it's variable, but I didn't see anything that talked about what type of variable.
So it's on page 351. And it talks about it being a nominal variable, I think.
So it's at the bottom of first or second paragraph, right? In the classical dichotomy. Separation of real and nominal variables.
It says it's actually the beginning of the third or the fourth paragraph on the page. Yeah, beginning of the fourth paragraph. Second sentence, it says most prices are quoted in units of money and therefore are nominal variables. So if in order for it to be a relative price, it has to be compared to something else.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think it's a nominal variable as well. Okay. And then quantity equation.
I had 2C.
Yeah.
So M equals 50 times X. Okay, C? 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
11. Suppose the United States unexpectedly decided to pay off its debt by printing new money. Which of the following would happen? And I put D, all of the above.
I also did.
Yeah. So 12, under the assumptions of the Fisher effect and monetary neutrality, if the money supply growth rate falls, the nominal interest rate falls, but the real interest rate does not.
Correct.
What's the Fisher effect? One sec. 1-for-1 adjustment of the nominal interest rate to the inflation rate.
It's page
So
352.
and 357 is the Fisher effect. Let's see. Considering long run. So I'm thinking. What do you guys think?
What are we talking about? Sorry.
12.
Okay. 12, I got C.
I think C.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
it talks about it on 352 and 357. The same thing.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I think C as well. Let's go with C. Nominal interest rate falls, real interest rate does not. What do you supply growth rate falls? 13. Tax is an alternative to income taxes and government borrowing. All of the above, right?
Correct.
This?
Or no, it doesn't tax those who
It doesn't
hold
tax
money.
people, yeah. It's just
What
the
taxes
revenue.
them through it taxes through the inflation tax.
Yeah, but it doesn't tax most those who hold the most money. It taxes everyone.
Yeah, but the problem
But
I have is
it's
that B. So A and C are pretty
A and
correct.
C are both,
So I
yeah.
agree. B is a little bit weird, but if A and C are correct, then that throws me off.
Yeah. Let's see. The answer, governments. So C is definitely the revenue created when government prints money. But maybe it's not. Let's see.
Yeah.
If the government can also pay for spending simply by printing money, raises. And then it is an alternative to income taxes and government borrowing. And it says that the inflation tax is like a tax on everyone who holds money. The revenue government raises by creating money. So I think all of the above, because A and C are definitely correct, and while B is like not that.
That's how I felt. The only thing that I don't agree with on B is it says it taxes most those who hold money the most. So it doesn't really matter how much money you hold, it taxes the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Excuse me. It doesn't. Well, I guess maybe a way to look. Like if there's like 1,000,000% inflation rate, like in Zimbabwe, and you're a millionaire, affect you more than it affects poor people, just because when your money's worth dirt, you'll have more dirt than the other people, but it's like they were closer to having nothing than you anyway.
Yeah, but the percentage is still going to be the same though.
Well, and
Yeah.
I was also thinking that they don't use it as an alternative to income taxes and government bonding. They use it with it.
Let's see.
Because it doesn't replace those things.
So you don't think A is correct? So you would choose
well,
C?
Yeah, because that's the
Yeah.
only one that makes the most sense to me.
Let's do C then.
The other ones are on top of it.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, it's not an alternative. It's like a. Like so yeah, let's do. I'm down with C. But I'll go with that.
I can do that.
14. Which of the following are U.S. taxpayers allowed to adjust for inflation for the purpose of income taxes? I don't think I've gotten this far in the chapter.
I chose D, neither interest income nor capital gains.
I did as well.
My page reference.
350. Yeah, 361.
Okay. On 14.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I take you guys' word for it. And 15, let's see. Martha lends money at a fixed interest rate, and the inflation turns out to be higher than she has expected it to be. The real interest rate she earns is, let's see, and then higher than she expected it to be. The real interest rate she earns is lower than she had expected. The real value of the loan is lower than she'd expected. So D.
For whatever reason, I was having a hard time with this, and I said D is lower than she expected, and the real value of the loan is lower than she had expected.
So D. I think just based on the 5-second glance that D makes the most sense there as well, right?
Okay.
Let's see. When Haley, oh, go ahead.
When Haley states that inflation by itself always reduces the real return or savings, I have C, has committed the inflation fallacy.
Yeah.
See, I had a hard time with that. Where did you find that?
I just reading the inflation fallacy the most because I read about what are the different options? Here I read the shoe leather one and the menu one, and what she's talking about fits most with inflation fallacy. I'm trying to find it here.
Oh yeah, I guess because always.
So yeah, the top of 359 talks about the inflation fallacy. If you ask a typical person why inflation is bad, they will tell you the answer is obvious. Inflation robs him of his hard-earned dollars. When prices rise, each dollar of income buys fewer goods and services. Thus, it might seem that inflation directly lowers living standards.
Yeah.
Yet further thought reveals a fallacy in this answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
17. I think I got that one. So 17 is I had shoe leather cost. People go to the bank more frequently to reduce currency holdings, so they're trying to keep their money in the bank and not hold money on their person, so the bank more often versus going to the bank fewer times and taking out more money.
Yeah.
It is C, shoe leather cost.
Okay. And then 18, indexing the tax system to take into account the effects of inflation would by itself.
I actually didn't have any of the last three, so.
So I have 20, but I had a hard time with 18 and 19.
Let's see.
Indexing the tax system to take into account the effects of inflation. What did you have for 18?
I didn't get chapter.
See, and this one I just left
It's
blank.
on 361, right? Inflation-induced tax distortions.
Okay.
All right, so second paragraph, page 362. The solution to this problem, other than eliminating inflation, is to index the tax system. That is, the tax laws could be rewritten to take account of the effects of inflation. For example, the tax code could adjust the purchase price using a price index and assess gain. In the case of interest income, the government could tax only real interest income by excluding that portion of the interest income that compensates for inflation. So indexing tax system to take into account the effects of inflation would by itself mean that only real interest earnings are taxed, mean an end to taxing capital gains, mean an increase in average tax rates. Let's see here. No, this one's kind of confusing.
Only real interest earnings are taxed. Yes. Mean an end to taxing capital gains. No. Mean an interest in average tax increase in average tax rate. So I'm thinking A. Mean that only real interest earnings are taxed.
Yeah, but in the case of capital gain, it changes assess the tax only on the real gain, so not on the capital gain. Right? Am I reading that correctly?
Let's see.
See,
so it would still be taxing capital gain, but it wouldn't be taxing inflation. Let's see.
I don't think B is correct. It would be all of the above. So I think it's either A or C.
I don't think it would mean an increase in average tax rates. If anything, it'd mean a decrease.
Yeah, so
on
I
average.
think it's probably A.
Hey, that's what I think too, because it means only real interest earnings are taxed. So, like if you take capital gains for example, so the profits you made by selling, let's say you bought stock in Apple for $50, and then you in 1980 and you sold it for $10 in 1980, you sold it for 50, but then $20 of that is inflation, so you only really made $30. Looks like you made $40. You only made 30 because 10 of it's inflation, because there's 100%, or because it doubled. Inflation doubled or whatever. So you're being taxed for $40, even though you only had a real increase of $30. And so instead of taxing all $40, you'd just be taxed the 30, which is the only like the real gains or real interest that you're getting. So I think it's definitely not B and it's definitely not D, which would just leave A, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
During the last tax year, you lent me at a nominal rate of 6%. Actual inflation was 1%, and expecting 1.5%. This difference between actual and expected inflation.
okay. So transferred wealth from the borrower to you caused by your after-tax real interest rates. Geez. So you come off better.
Yeah.
So it transfers wealth from the borrower to you. That's for sure. So it's definitely A or B.
A or B. Mm-hmm.
And cause your after-tax interest rate to be 0.5% higher than what you'd expected.
So the difference is more than or 0.5. I think it's A.
I think it's A as well. Yes, I think it's A. Definitely A. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So 20, I got
what did you get? You got B?
C.
C. Tightly control the money supply.
It says that on page 366.
Great. Okay. Cool. And the conclusion? Good deal.
You said B, keep unemployment low?
No,
it's
tightly
C.
control the money
Okay,
supply.
okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. All right, I agree.
Cool.
Let's see here. I haven't looked. Nope, Erica's gone. All right.
Cool. 19 out of 20.
Well, good job.
Good job, guys. Sorry, I was kind of freeloader on that one. Yeah. I'll make sure to adjust.
You certainly pull your own weight, Keenan. You don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. So yeah, this is good. It was funny. We went to this this money museum today. It was like a museum, but part of it was like Ecuadorian money. And we were talking about how like in the 90s the inflation rate, there's hyperinflation in Ecuador. And so they ended up switching to the dollar too. How does money get so inflated sometimes? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm reading about it in my chapter tonight, so I'll have to let you know. So it was kind of funny. We were like talking about that, and I was like, I'm like literally like gonna read that when I get home. So
just reading the chapter, it seems like it's usually happening to countries that don't have yet. So that's why it happened to us back in like the Revolutionary War. Shortly after that, we didn't really have the ability to set up a lot of intricate tax codes or anything. So they're like, well, hey.
Yeah.
We had an oversupply of money and not enough demand.
For sure.
But,
so yeah, it's just from like printing, because it's like instead of like trying to like borrow or like get money, like real money, that you just print money and then it just like it just makes money valueless, like meaningless. Which I thought was crazy. The Zimbabwe, like don't use Zimbabwe dollars to like wipe your like don't flush Zimbabwe dollars, you know, in the toilet. I thought that was really funny. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like how it was like 1 trillion, it was like 10 trillion Zimbabwe dollars or something was worth like $2 or $3.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty weird to live in.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't
You
see
know,
anything too crazy. I'm
You
sure
know
we
what would be
will at some
interesting?
point.
It would be interesting if all of the other countries no longer recognized the dollar and sent all of the dollars, like the US dollars, back. Then we would have an oversurplus and we'd be the poorest country.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Ecuador uses the dollar, and like I know Panama and like a bunch of other countries do too. So yeah.
This is in Belize that took my US dollars.
But would that increase the money supply in the U.S.? Like, because is it
Yeah.
like is it a national supply, or is it just or an international supply?
Well, so
It's
we
just
can't,
all of our money.
yeah, we can't keep track of all of the money that's in other countries. Like people are stashing it even. So we don't even
Yeah,
know all that they have. So if we ended up getting all of our money sent back to us because it no longer was worth anything, or if everyone was coming here and leaving it here, then we would have an oversupply of money and the value of our dollar would be basically nothing
yeah,
because how much money has been printed and is out there.
it's interesting to think about. Well, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to learn how like Ecuador, like, because their central bank can't control the amount of money that they have in here. Like, because it's not even they can't print U.S. dollars. You know, like how do they? I'd be interested to read about how they control the money flow when they're not even using their own currency. But anyhow, so
They probably have a little bit of corruption in their government also.
yeah,
I'm sure we do too,
definitely.
just in different ways, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny. It was like some like real life application for the chapter. We're like, well, how does hyperinflation even happen? So good stuff we're learning in this class.
So
So
if I stop broadcast, it doesn't kick us out, does it? Doesn't it just stop recording?
I think so. I mean, you might as well test it.
Yeah.
yeah, try